2025 Appalachian Trail Thru Hike Full Backpacking Gear List. Let me just start by saying I've been slowly acquiring and testing this gear over the last 5 years. I have my backpack all packed up and ready to go, and I thought I would show you those items as I unpack it. So first of all, I have my black diamond checker poles. These are my base layers that I'll be wearing. Going on the assumption just for backpack training purposes, I wanted to, let's just imagine it's 70 degrees, woohoo, on the first day, and all I'm wearing is base layers, and I have to pack and carry the weight of everything else. I wanted to be used to that weight, which comes to, in winter, about 28 pounds, and that's with 5 days, 4 nights of food. So that's a full pack. Okay, and full waters. These are my merino wool loose fit stays up socks, which are way better than darn tough. I keep telling you people. I got merino wool underwear. I have a Ridge merino wool bra. I have a Ridge merino sun hoodie. This is going to be my base layer. It is actually a cool sun hoodie. The weight of the merino wool is 145. I have my Bayleaf pants, or Bayleaf, I don't know how it's pronounced, but I've hiked in them for years and years and years. I bought a new pair for this hike. And my new pair of Ultras. I think they're the 9 of the new number, Lone Peak. And I ordered all my shoes ahead of time because I take 11.5, which is larger than my actual foot. But they don't sell them at REI. You can only get them from Ultra, and I didn't want them to run out of stock. So I ordered all 5 pairs ahead of time, and one I'll be starting with, and the other 4 are in resupply boxes, which I'll get to soon. The one item I'm not sure if I'm bringing are yak tracks. I'm really just going to kind of watch the weather, but they're here in case I decide to chuck them in my pack. They're like a half a pound, so I'd rather not bring them and just walk slow 1 or 2 days, but we'll see what the weather kind of looks like as we get closer. And now we get to my Durston Kakwa. I've done a separate video on my big 3. On the outside, I have my mini Garmin InReach. I have my reading glasses. I have my REI multi-towel. I have my drink water bottle. This is a 3/4 liter. I have a 1 liter bottle on one side, and then I have another 3/4 on the other. In summertime, I'll probably bump that to another 1 liter. And this isn't screwed on right now, but the Sawyer will be on this one. So this one will have, when the Sawyer's not attached to it, I'm actually going to put a cap like that on that's a different color, probably black. That way I never mix up the dirty water. And then this will filter into those 2. This will be for straight water. This will be for either instant breakfast mixes or Propels or whatever. So the flavored water is always in one of the bottles. And let's see, I have a fanny pack and pockets here. So see if I can do this with one hand. All right, so in one of the pockets, I have a merino wool, and I think it's a 250, I'm sure it is, hat. And I always like to go with bright colors, so if I drop something, I can see it. And then I have a thicker merino wool buff, face gaiter, whatever you want to call those. And then on this side, I have Icebreaker 250 merino wool gloves, and they have the grippies so you can slide your finger and make your phone work. And I also have my Showa fishing gloves that are breathable but waterproof at the same time. So on rainy, freezing cold rain days, I can put those over my gloves and keep my fingers warm. And now let's do the fanny pack. I don't have anything in the front pocket now, but that is where my phone will go when I'm hiking. And I will pack my snacks for the day in here. My drink mixes for the day are in here. My wallet is in here, and I kind of attached it. I replaced, this is a, what is it, Hyperlight Feather or something. I replaced the plastic, the cheap plastic hook with a metal one that's reliable. And this is my little backup photo disc. So at the end of the day, I can back up photos. This is my multi-tool, my Leatherman multi-tool, and my wallet, which is empty right now. And I set it up so I could easily unclip any of these things. And then in here, I have my sunscreen, which I did a separate video on that testing. I have a lip balm, and I have my Moth Mom ink stamp for journals. I have 1 Band-Aid, and I have 1 migraine pill in here. So if I get injured while walking or start getting a headache, I can address it without opening up the whole shebang. And then I have my water treatment tablets. There's a couple in here for like 3 or 4 for the day, and I have more of them in, I think they're in my first aid kit. I have my vitamins parceled out, everything that I need for the day, and my protein supplement. And I have a little dropper full of camp soap. I'm not going with hand gel because it doesn't work against norovirus, so I'm going with camp soaps instead. Okay, that's that. I should mention I have a lot of Ziploc bags in here right now that aren't going to be in here when I actually hike. There'll be one for garbage and then the rest will just be loosely in here. I just have it in here now to keep myself organized while I make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Okay, let's talk about side pockets. Side pockets. I have my sit pad, garage gear, and that also works in the tent at night under my mattress for colder weather or to keep the thermarest from sliding around. It also works like if you have to open up your backpack and it's pouring out, this makes a good makeshift umbrella really quick. My water is on this side and my tent stakes are here too because I don't want them poking holes in anything inside. So those are over there. And then on this side I have another water, and in this pocket here is my bear bag rucksack, so I can hang my bear bag and line, and it's easy accessible on the outside of the pack. And then this is my pea style, which I can reach while I'm hiking, and I can untoggle it, take out the pea style. And I also have my cooler cloth. I decided to bring it in there just for while I'm figuring out the best bathroom solution. So I do have a cooler cloth in here, which I'll probably only be using at night in the tent with my pea system for nighttime. Now I'm going to turn the bag around. Okay, here's the other side. Now this is the older version of the Durston. They've since extended the mesh down, which is amazing. Wish I had that, but this works fine. In here I have my knock bottle for water reservoir for filling up water bottles in camp or whatever. I have my rolled up raincoat. It's my Patagonia Torrent Shell 3L. And I have the matching rain pants also rolled up. Same brand, same make, same everything. And then I have my camp shoes in here. I have Zero shoes. They're like guaranteed for like 2,000 miles. You can actually hike in them. But I like barefoot shoes. I don't like my toes ever scrunched up. So I went with a nice, flexible, easy packable shoe. This is the rest of my bathroom system. So let me show you that. So I added a toggle to this Dyneema bag I got on Etsy. And if I unclip this one-handed really while I'm filming. There we go. I loop this around just so that it can't fall off at any point and get lost. It would still be attached. Okay, so this has my Deuce, my cat hole digger. And it has a peanut butter jar. In my video on pea systems, I had a Talente gelato container, but it was a hard plastic and it didn't have any give, and I was afraid it might crack. So I actually traded it in for a tiny peanut butter container that I cleaned out. So while I'm figuring out the best system, I'm bringing a little of everything. So this jar is for at night if I have to pee in the tent. And originally I was thinking like, you got to use the pee style to stand and pee. And no, just pee in the jar, right? I don't know what I was thinking when I was figuring that out, if you saw that video at all. It's still a good video, but I've found a better way since then. So I do have a small reserve of toilet paper. And I have my bidet system, which I did a separate video on as well. Just because in the beginning, I think it might be too cold to be spraying water in a bidet system. So I'm bringing toilet paper with me. It also gives me a chance to figure out on trail, would I prefer toilet paper or do I prefer the bidet system? But the really nice thing about this is it fits in here. If this gets dirty, it's on the outside and it fits right against this jar so well. And it cinches up. And even when this is packed full of stuff, it's so streamlined that the jar pops right in. So it's really easy to tote in the back. All right, so next let's open up and look inside. Okay, top of the bag are my electronics. And there's another bag in here. I'll explain that one in a minute. Okay, I have wired earbuds. I only use these in my tent. I don't listen to music when I'm hiking because I like to hear nature. I have a charging unit that has 2 outlets, I guess you call them. And I have for electronics, I have my flex tail to inflate and deflate my mattress. I've done a video on that. I have my Nightcore, upside down headlamp. And I have my Anchor battery backup. I'm holding my phone, and I have the Garmin. Those are all my chargeables. So this one wire charges everything but the phone, and this one only does the phone. So I decided to bring a second one so I can charge 2 of the other items at the same time rather than doing them one by one by one. So I only brought a short cord for that so it wouldn't be as heavy. And I put Mothman stickers on everything. So if it's a busy wall full of everyone charging, it's really easy to find my own goodies. So this is sort of a personal bag second Medipack, and I'm going to be taking this clip off because I don't need it at all. So what are in here are my Write in Rain journal and pen, which I'll mostly be using to record daily miles and where I stay. So I have any thoughts I might have. My brush is in here. It's a little wooden one. I don't like the ones that pop open and fold. They break on me because I have some wave in my hair, so need that. So first I have medications that I will want to have in my tent at night. What if you get sick at night? You're going to go out in the dark and try to get your bear bag down without waking up the village? No. Some things can come in the tent. So these do not have sugar coatings on them, so they're not bear attractors. There's a few Tylenols in here floating around. There's Gas-X, because I like that instead of Tums. I have Imodium, and there's one Benadryl, but I'll probably swap that out with an Allegra, so a non-drowsy formula. That's in there, a couple meds. And then I have my prescription meds. I have my estrogen and progesterone. No tampons for me. This is so light. They're tiny, tiny little pills. This is 6 weeks worth. And my migraine medicine is in here, and my poison ivy. If I get poison ivy, my doctor prescribed me prednisone for that. So I want all these items in my tent at night. Now, the reason I rigged this up, I didn't show it earlier, is if you just unhook this, it brings my wallet, my Leatherman, and my backup photo disc together with me, and I can clip it right on this bag so they don't get lost. And then this can go in the tent with my medicines and electronics. And this, that had food in it, will go into my bear bag for the night because I don't want things that were carrying food around in them, cookies, inside my tent with me. Okay, next I have my Thurston X-Mid Pro 2 tent. And I have my Hilltop Packs bear bag. Look at that. And on here, I also ordered from Hilltop Packs. Well, let me just say first. First of all, I have this little clamp here, as opposed to a lot of people have this C-clamp that it just presses open. But when you're hanging multiple bags in the same place, that can actually click and open, and someone else's line or your own line can get double caught in it. So we saw a tip that said always get the ones that kind of screw closed. And then I got this dog bone from Hilltop, and check out their website and video. Maybe I'll put a link in the description of how this is used so you don't have to try to find a stick-on trail. Amazing. And I'll go through, this is 5 days, 4 nights of food, and I will go through this at the end of this video. Okay, next I have my Thermarest mattress, and I have my first aid kit. And in here, I have all kinds of things. This is Salon Paws. A lot of people don't know about this. It's actually like a medicated pad. People use them for their back a lot. I find that when toes hurt, you can cut a little piece as long as you don't have open skin. So you can't use them where there's a blister. But sometimes I get sore toes and I cut a little piece off while I sleep at night, and it's self-sticking, and then I put a Band-Aid over it just to keep the medication in place. Immediately dulls nerve sensations so that you don't feel pain, and you can use them anywhere in your feet. So they're heavy though, so I cut a pad in half. Then, let's see, I have a little Medipack that has small Band-Aids. These are basically for toes, and larger Band-Aids, which I can either cut down the center and make toe Band-Aids out of, or boo-boo Band-Aids. And the reason I do that is I'm pretty blister-proof at this point, but the one thing I don't train on is steep downhills. So at the start of the trail, there could be a week or two where I'm running into that, and that's basically what this is for. And it should be more than I need for a very long time. There we go. I have hair ties. This is the spare pair. I'll be having another pair on me. A couple Q-tips. This is a bee sting pad. These are amazing. If you don't know about these, you should. And I just had this, so I dumped it in. A little anti-itch cream. There's a couple more Q-tips in there. Okay, what else we got in here? I have 2 hand warmers. These are for emergencies only at the start of the trail, and I'll probably do the same at the end of the trail in New Hampshire. I'm not going to use them unless I really need them. They're not a comfort item. Emergency item after freezing cold rain. And then if I need to replace them for more than one emergency, I will, but hopefully they last. A little bit of super glue. This is in case shoes need repairing before a new pair comes. I have a little roll of duct tape, a rubber band, and my needle is actually put in right here so that it doesn't damage anything. I didn't want to put them around my trucker pole. I think they get kind of melty. Duct tape. It kind of gets kind of melty in summer, and I didn't want to deal with that on my pole. I have earplugs. I have dental floss for flossing or making repairs. This is lamb's wool, also for toes at the start of the hike, but probably won't need it very long into the trail. These are all the rest of my water tabs, and I did get the ones that are ready within a half hour. You're supposed to have these until you pass the Smokies because norovirus is crazy. This is my tent repair and thermarest repair kit. And we'll get to those next. Tweezers are in here. Nail clippers are in here. Spare Sawyer squeeze filter. Whoops, too close. Filter in here. And these, a lot of people bring baby wipes. I didn't really want to pack that, and it's too much weight in those, but I did want to bring a few of these feminine wipes. They're very lightweight. It's an ounce for 4 of them, and I thought in case I wanted to freshen up at any point. This is my Trix, the cereal box. I know it's added weight. It's in there right now. I'll probably take it out because I practice with this pack a lot, and my KT tape, when you roll up KT tape, it ends up like crinkling and peeling off the backs. So I find they do better flat, and I found by putting it in this cardboard, it kind of keeps them in good shape if I don't use them for a while. But I do love KT tape, and will always be carrying that. One thing I do want to mention is I always keep all food inside of my bear bag or in my fanny pack. I never put food in any of the side pockets or pouches or anything of my Durston. So at night, I won't have mice trying to chew in through my pockets. And in the evening, I pop the half of my medi pack that has scented items into my bear bag. My fanny pack also goes in here. All right, let's reach in again. So here's my composter bag, my dry bag. And then I have this bag right here. And on the bottom is my Enlightened Equipment 20-degree sleep quilt, synthetic. I don't sleep in dead animals. And it will not fit in the Durston inside the compression stack. It's too wide. And if you tip it on end, the rest of the puzzle pieces just don't fit. So you take it out and stuff it in the bottom. And I find a little pro tip here. If you have your outside pockets all empty when you do this, and then put everything into it, and then last fill your outer pockets, it's way easier to do. So little tip if you haven't tried it yet. The compression sack, though, from that sleeping quilt is used to hold all of my spare clothes and coats. And the reason for that is eventually I'm going to be shipping this home to hubby, and he's going to send me a 50-degree bag for summer, and I'm going to need to get it in the compression sack to fit it in the carton to get it shipped home. So I do want to have this with me, and it works great as a pillow or a between-the-knee pillow at night. Also works as a laundry sack if you're going to a laundromat. So I love that it's a multi-use item. And let's pull this apart. I have my Sky Goat mid-layer camp hoodie. Amazing. Sorry, I'm a little too close to it, but there it is. I have, let me get my other coat out. This is my Patagonia Nano Puff, Micro Nano Puff, I don't know what it is. Hoodie, that's my camp coat. I have let me kind of dig this out here. 2 pairs of loose fit stays up sock in addition to the base layer that I'll be wearing. 2 spare pairs, one for sleeping, one for hiking. And for cold, wet days, I have merino wool, I think they're 60% sock liners. So on cold, wet days, these work great. Doubling up your wool will keep your toes warm. Keep my toes warm anyway. But like I said, I'm pretty blister proof at this point, so I don't really need sock liners. But if you're new to hiking, definitely get sock liners. It will save your feet. But even on downhills that I'm not used to, I might end up using them till I toughen up the feet. And then I have, this is just a town bra. It's a synthetic, lightweight 1-ounce town bra just to wear while I'm doing laundry. And then I have 2 more pairs of merino wool underwear. And then I have my sleep clothes, which are a 250 weight, I think it's woolly from REI, long sleeve sleep shirt. Then I have 200 weight icebreaker leggings for sleeping in. And then for hiking, I have Patagonia baggy shorts. Two other things are in here. First, I have a bag here for my Sawyer squeeze. So on cold nights, I remember to take it out and put it in my foot box of my sleeping bag so it doesn't freeze. And I have this bag for sleeping clothes because my hiking clothes, it says sleeping clothes, sleeping bag clothes, because during the day, if my hiking clothes gets wet and I'm unable to dry them, or even if it's going to be cold, you put them in a Ziploc bag and you put them in your foot box, and that way in the morning when you wake up, you can at least put on warm, wet clothes or even warm, dry clothes rather than cold clothes. So that's why it's in here for access to that. And I'll also be putting my electronics will go in my foot box on cold nights too, so batteries don't drain. Again, finally, my Enlightened Equipment 20-degree synthetic sleep quilt is in here, but I'm not going to pull it all out because that's the last item in the bottom. Now that I've packed it all up, the other great thing about having my clothes in this compression sack is all the air really squeezes out of it nicely for squishing it back into the backpack. Works really well. Oh, this actually doesn't belong in here. This is my sponge to wipe down my tent, and I'm going to put it inside with my Durston tent, or I'll put it with the tent stakes. I'm not sure which, but for now it's in there so I don't forget it. Everything with scented is in here. So this is toothbrush, toothpaste, and I do have a razor. I do not want hairy armpits. Snacks we'll get to. Okay, then I have a bag with all my drink mixes for 5 days, 4 nights, my instant breakfasts, and I love strawberry and vanilla, so I'm gonna pack those when I can find them. My Propels, I have a couple elements in here. Couple things of instant coffee, luxury for the beginning. And some days I have espresso beans for my friend Lisa. So I'll have those for 2 days. And then my favorite protein snack of all, and they're really hard to find in stores, so I'll only get them when I resupply most likely. But they have 15 grams of protein and they have hardly any sugar in them. I'm not a fan of sugar unless it's in ice cream. So I think I have like 10 of these and somewhere in my snack pouch. Fanny pack. Then I have my Hyperlight cook bag, so I can boil water in the cook pot, cook food in a Ziploc bag, quart freezer bag inside of here, and wait for it to cook. And that way I don't have to clean dishes every night. And I have a bag of, I am salt low. Like I always have to have a lot of salt. So I have a lot of salt packets. That'll last me a while, probably way more than I need, but it weighs nothing. I have 2 macaroni and cheese meals, and I have a instant cheese mashed potatoes. I actually have 2 of these. And then I have 2 things of sardines because I'm probably going to get stuck eating tuna a lot. So whenever I can, I want the sardines. And then I do have a large Ziploc bag and 10 quart-size cook bags. So I don't have to buy a huge box of Ziploc bags right out of the gate. Until I have a trampoline, we can split them. I think there's also, I think this is the garbage bag, the large Ziploc, right? Yes. This is my MSR camp stove. And I did get the one that self-lights. You just flick it and it makes a spark and you do it. I had the Hornet. I found it didn't work really well in windy weather. It's very tippy and it just kind of scared me. I'm like, I don't want to be the one who spills boiling hot water on myself because the stove is too small. So I actually went with and I found this boils the water a lot faster. That Hornet took forever to boil water. This is like 1 to 2 minutes and you have really hot water. Then I have my ultralight titanium. I guess it's Evernew. Hubby gave me this. And inside I have another REI multi-towel. And this is so important that while you're cooking, you wipe your hands on this and don't wipe food germs onto your clothes for bear scent. So get used to kind of setting this out and wiping hands on it. I have a spare lighter just in case. Well, a lighter just in case, since my stove has a self-igniter. A full canister of fuel. And I have a spoon, a long-handled spoon. I did not go with a spork because I will tell you, originally I had a spork and I had a Z-Packs bag, and within 2 weeks that spork, even though it was inside of inside of its carry case, inside of a rolled bandana, it still poked holes through my Z-Packs bear bag within 2 weeks. And I was really upset about that. And I said, no more sporks. So I have a spoon. And then this is a peanut butter, but it's not Skippy because I hate processed peanut butter. So I emptied out the jar and I bought real, actual, organic, chunky, salted peanut butter to bring with me for my snack. And this is my container for honey or jelly, and it seals nice and tight, won't burst open in the bear bag. And I'm going to make a separate video about this because it was so hard to find. I almost forgot. These are also in here. This is a 6-week supply of multivitamins, calcium supplement, and perfect amino protein supplement because I'm a largely vegetarian pescatarian. So if I have 5 tabs of these a day, that's 30 grams of perfect protein that gets fully absorbed. And since I'm not a breakfast eater, this will probably be my breakfast. And I think this one is opened up. You can see them in there, and I threw extra dry packs in there, and they're all very distinguishable from each other, but that will get me through 6 weeks. So that, and I know I did a video on the protein, and you may think this is a lot of weight, but it actually weighs less than the beef jerky you're packing for the week, and this is 6 weeks worth. So nah don't pick on me. There's the camp soap that I have to add here. I also have a crunchy snack. There's my goldfish. I was looking for those because everything in there is soft. I don't like crunchy granola, so all of my protein bars are soft. So I need at least one crunchy thing. And I also have some mini bagels, although I probably won't take all 5. Okay, so that's everything. Now remember, again, all these side pockets, the hat, the gloves, all empty out. All the rain gear comes out for summer, and I just get a simple raincoat that goes in the back. The Enlightened equipment sleeping bag goes to the summer bag, which is I think 10 ounces, almost a pound lighter for summer. And sleep clothes goes from merino wool leggings and long sleeve to sleeveless t-shirt and shorts. And the weight of my pack will drop probably about 4 to 5 pounds once I hit past the Roan Highlands in Virginia. And it will drop first after Mount Rogers, and then the sleeping bag will come out probably after the Roan Highlands. And then I will be hiking most of the time with a 22-pound pack, even with 5 days worth of food. I mean, it's really going to drop down low. The yak tracks will come out if I do end up bringing them. There's just so much stuff lightening up for summer. It's going to be amazing. Scary cemetery, red obituary.